Hello YouTube, it's Team Endgame here, bringing you a deck profile on my Oracle deck. It's not a Susanoo deck, it's an Oracle deck. So someone's requested this since putting up on the channel. I wasn't happy with the build that went up on the channel, so I've since modified it. I'm still not happy with it, but it's
still hate Oracle.
It's still as good as it's gonna get.
I hate the ability.
So our first grade 3 is the new Susanoo, Spiritual Sword of Wrath of Deity Susanoo. Should I go with the skills?
I just briefly mentioned the main part that's relevant. I don't.
Okay,
unless it's long and I'm not 100% what it says, in which case I read the entire thing to make sure I don't mess up.
So in order of how this FX would activate, I suppose. Stride break. So when you stride over him, Soul Blast 2, draw a card. At the beginning of your ride phase, if you have a face-up card of Amaterasu or Wakahirume in the G zone, you may Soul Charge 1. And GB2, at Oracle, at the beginning of your ride phase, you can look at the top card of your deck and put it to the top or bottom of your deck. So this card's bullshit because you're never going to have 5 cards in your starting hand at the start of your ride phase. That's why I hate him, but at the same time he's better than the original one because if you do, you can still take the top card, which is quite nice because you can decide, oh, I want to draw that, or I'm going to leave it there, I'm not going to draw a card this turn, I'm just going to go straight into a trigger. So back up grade 3 is not the original Susanoo, but this new Goddess of Astrology Yasaka. So this was in the Trinity Dragon set as well. It is the standard. When you ride, Count Blast, Soul Blast, top 5 for an Oracle, put it in your hand, shuffle, blah blah. He also has a second skill on the Vanguard and Rearguard at Oracle. When he hits a Vanguard, you can Soul Blast. If you do, draw a card, then discard a card, and if you discard an Oracle, Count Charge, Soul Charge. What's the point? It essentially becomes, I mulligan a card and countercharge 1. I don't think it's worth it, but whatevs. They are grade 3s. Going straight into grade 2s, we have probably one of the best cards, actually, for Oracle.
I thought it was grade 1. Yeah. Stupid grade 1, I hate it. Okay, go on.
A bit if you want it. New grade 2, which was also in Trinity Dragon set, is Deity Spirit Loyalist Amano Oshio. So this is a GB1 Oracle skill on the rearguard. When this unit attacks, which is why it's good, you can Counter Blast 1. If you do, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck for any and search for an Oracle card. Search for a card with the Oracle ability. I need to specify this every time. And put it to your hand, shuffle your deck. If you put a card in your hand, this gets 3k power. So why is that good? Because it's on attack, you don't need to boost, you can attack a rearguard, it's really good, and it gets power, so it goes to 12, so a niggle 9 can become a 12 on the attack if you add a card, which is great. And he has the Oracle keyword, which is one of the main focuses of the grade 2s and 3s for the simple fact of 2 cards, which I will get to in a bit. Next we won 4 Rigid Crane, which is one of the GB5 this was, because when Oracle first came out. Continuous GB1 Oracle skill. During your turn, this gets 2k power, and it has a second skill. Sorry, it gets a second skill on the rearguard. When this attack hits a Vanguard, you can counter charge and soul charge. So the counter charge soul charge is quite nifty because you need soul for a Susanoo build because you need soul blast 2 every damn time. Counter charge is always useful. It also gets 2k when it sets 11 niggle, as long as you have 5 cards in your hand, which is the hardest part of this freaking deck. But you still need to run it because it has the Oracle keyword. And for your last grade 2, you have the GBT01 card, Diviner, I can never read this name, Kuroi Kazuchi, I think I said that right, which is your on-boost counter blast draw card. Not limited by Oracle, that's why you run him at 3 and when you run him at all, because you can use him before you attack with your Vanguard or other rear guards, draw you that card, putting you up to 5 cards for Oracle.
Yay!
Yay! Pretty good. That's literally all he's there for, is just that extra potential draw for consistency of the Oracle keyword. Grade 1s for Ame no Murakumo, which is your Stride fodder. All the promo ones, which are nice. Because you can still search the new Susanoo with this one. We run 4 perfect guards, obviously, but this is the new one from the Trinity Dragon set because it has the Oracle keyword. Its skill is in the drop zone. You can counter blast 1 at the end of your turn if you have Oracle and GB1 to return the card to your hand. Then you have to choose a card from your hand at random and bind it face down. So
what the hell?
It's really shit.
Oh, wait, it's a perfect guard.
Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Counter blast, add it, bind it.
Bind that card.
Bind the card at random. I get it. You're still adding a perfect guard back to your hand, but I don't like it. Could
you technically discard it if I heard that right? Could you add it back and could at random discard that?
You could at random bind it, yeah.
You just counter blast to bind a card.
Yeah.
So no. You're meant to have a big hand. It's meant to be hidden.
I've never used it yet, but it's there for the Oracle keyword because it's a search target. Now, what Mike thinks is the most broken card in the deck, but it's quite close, is Precious Omphidian, which is a rare from the Trinity Dragon set. So, 2 skills. We'll go through the stupid one first. When this is placed on the rear guard, if you have a Vanguard with the Oracle ability, you can Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. Right. So the reason why it's stupid is because this isn't GB restricted at all. So 8 of your grade 2s and all of your grade 3s have the Oracle ability. So as long as you call it and you have one of those 12, I can't add up, 16 cards in your Vanguard.
Guard with it?
You just Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. Herp, herp, herp.
Yeah.
And its second skill, GB1, Oracle. At the beginning of your ride phase, you can retire this and you can stride without paying the cost this turn. So that is really good if you can get it off, but that is the problem with Oracle. Again, it's incredibly inconsistent to keep it, especially...
It's meant to keep your hand up, I guess, that thing.
Yeah, it is, but the problem is you've got to get your hand in the first place to then keep your hand, which is the problem.
Yep.
But it's the beginning of the ride phase which makes it tricky to use. It is possible, and I have used it a few times, especially since making tweaks to the deck, but it's mainly there for that first skill, because Soul Blast 1 to draw a card, especially in the early game, is really dumb. And now the card that I checked in recently that I've never seen people use, but I think it's good. Although it's got a bit of a backdraw,
but it's rubbish.
I think it's really good because it does easily help the Oracle keyword, and that's Black Kitty!
Oh right, yeah. I used to think that was really good, but you didn't like it.
Well, I think...
Even when it came out, you're like, I don't want to draw a card. It's like, but Aaron, you draw a card as well, it's equal.
I think the game is fast enough now that it doesn't matter that your opponent draws a card as well. As you said, you both draw, so it's equal. But it is literally, I call, I draw. And you potentially keep that Oracle keyword active. That's why it's in there. But I'm still testing it. But I think so far it's really helped me because it has been like, I don't want to drop a card because I want to keep Oracle. It's not a cat. Yay! I still kept Oracle.
It's the same as that, isn't it? It's like, I want to keep Oracle. Cool, so let's draw. Cool, draw. It's the idea of the deck, I guess.
Yeah, it's the point. The way Oracle is, like, Oracle Think Tank have always been a defensive, I have a lot of cards in my hand, you're not getting past deck. But it seems to be pushing it to kind of be an aggressive deck, because it's like, I'm going to drop early, draw a card, drop early, draw a card, attack, 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 attack. Kind of like Murakumo, I suppose. Because you're getting your temporary pluses, I'm just kind of getting the plus and pushing it.
I mean, in that respect, yeah, so sort of like 14 grade 1s. If you're playing Rushy, are you running 8 grade 3s?
Why?
Yeah, because either, if you're running 8 grade 3s, I'd do that personally, and chuck in an extra kitty, so you
I'm still testing.
You can rush.
The thing is,
what I'd do, not necessarily what's right or what you can in testing things, or I'd add another grade 2 to have a rush, but other than that,
these are my standard numbers, 8, 9, 14, because it ensures that I ride properly, is the problem. I may have cards to draw cards, but it's no guarantee that I'm going to find the cards I need, etc. Until I keep playtesting and playtesting to find that I don't like it, I will alter it then. And triggers are typical OTT fashion. 4 crit, you run the Susanoo one because you've got a Susanoo Vanguard and because you have Susanoo Strides. Another 4 crit, you run the Paisley Magus one because it's a crit, no other reason, and my other crits are in other decks. 4 Oracle Guardian Nikkei because again it's a crit, and then just 4 regular heal.
Oh, I was expecting crits, God.
I have been tempted.
Oh God.
I have been very tempted, but I want to G-Guard.
You want to G-Guard?
To get Amaterasu face up for...
That is the most broken G-Guard, I swear.
It's really freaking good.
Is the Angel one you check and then you...
Yes.
See, it's not as bad as that, because that's at least...
Angel ones I check, put top or bottom, and then I take it down.
And then you take it down. That's stupid. That's
That one's still look at top of one.
Yeah, but you can trigger twice with the angel when it's only once with this one.
Yeah, I know, but I should really probably change that to Lodgings Magus just so I can potentially send it back. But at the same time, I'm not going to do that because I need it in my hand for Oracle.
Yeah.
So, you know, problems.
Here's a heal.
And I completely forgot the starter, which is the other reason why you run a bunch of Oracle keyword cards. So, Deity, Spirit, Loyalist, Ikutsu, Hikone. So he has 2 skills, Act, GB1, Oracle, put it into Soul to countercharge 1. You never use that skill, honestly. The second skill, when your unit with the Oracle ability is placed on the Vanguard, if you have a number of if the number of cards in your hand is 4 or less, you can count +1, put it into your Soul to draw a card. So he essentially kind of fills your Soul and bounces up to get your card. Again, not GB restricted, so just like the Snake thing, it's essentially, yay, right, put in Soul draw, and then you can find some other units to call and keep thingy Oracle consistent. Annoyingly, you never get it off a grade 2 ride. You only ever get this off a grade 3 ride because unless you're going second and drop a bunch of grade 1s on the rearguard, your hand's never going to be 4 or less to activate a skill on grade 2 ride. So there's that. Right, strides are spears. So OTT strides are shit, so...
only go over the ones that are relevant then.
So, well, they're all relevant. Dragon Destroyer Battle Deity Kama Susanoo. This is the GB5 Kama Susanoo. This one is Act once per turn, flip himself up until the end of the turn. It gets auto on the Vanguard. When it hits the Vanguard, look at the top 2 cards, search for 1, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of the deck, and then it gets a continuous Vanguard skill GB3. All your all your units get 2k. Okay. So he is usually your first turn stride because you want to activate GB2 for Susanoo's GB2 skill. So you don't care about losing out on the GB3 for this one. And then you have another 4 copy for his second one as well. I have been informed, and I have kind of sort of tested it, that you can use Ama no Sugume, which is, again, it doesn't have a flip, so you can get your GB2 off, but the problem with this one is it's restricted by Oracle, so you need this active at the time of your attack. So you're not always going to have that, so you can't always activate GB2, that's why I personally don't use it. But its skill is, when it hits, you can draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, discard it, and then you can countercharge Soul Charge. So it unflips, it Soul Charges for Susanoo, and you still get a plus. But because of the Oracle restriction, it's a bit eh. The second thing people have informed me of is that I've seen a lot of people running Mirror, the Battle Sister, as your first stride, because it doesn't require a Battle Sister Heart, and you can just flip a card up. If you have Battle Sister Rearguards, you can still get the skill, and it does actually include units, I think? Yes. So when you attack, your Battle Sister hits, including itself. So if you strode this, you flip up, and then itself gets, if this hits, you can counter blast and draw. Which is alright, it's more or less what these do, I suppose. But the reason you'd run that is because it can flip anything, and you'd flip Wakahilume. The reason you would flip her is because of... I'm going to get him out. Are you trying to discreetly open a can?
Yes, I am.
With Susanoo's second skill, if you have Amaterasu or Wakahilume face up, at the beginning of your ride phase you can Soul Charge. So people do that to keep the soul afloat, so every turn you Soul Charge, so you can keep Soul Blasting to draw, Soul Blasting to draw on stride. I personally do not use this because I like running all 4 copies of Wakahirume, so I can use her twice. Because I still think she's one of the... Nope, she is probably the best OTT stride right now. So her skill is GB2 Oracle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, flip her face up. If you do, draw a card, and then you choose a card from your hand, put it to the top of your deck. So essentially, you stack a trigger on the top of your deck, and you force a trigger.
You mean a heal, yeah?
Yeah, in my case, usually heal.
Yeah, so, yes.
So, depending on the situation, you can do whatever. You can put a crit there, you can put a heal there. You can, if you're running out of options, you can try and bluff your opponent, I guess. I don't know why you'd want to do it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I think that's probably the best stride for OTT. That's why I'd rather run it at 4 than run 3 for a potential first turn flip, and then only use her once. But I can see why people do it. But I don't think that the power gain from Kami Susanoo is good enough. Next we were on 2 of the GR, which is the new State Affairs Subjugation Deity, Kami Susanoo. So, continuous GB2, Oracle, this gets 5k and a crit. So it's continuous, so I think I said it in the set breakdown, it reminds me of Amaterasu, of you can get the 5k and crit during the drive check when your hand goes up to 5. It's only really good because it has that crit pressure. You don't really use it for anything else. For an Oracle-based deck, your hand shouldn't drop below 5 cards, so the second skill of Counterblast 2, when it's placed on Vanguard, to draw up to 5 cards is more or less meaningless. Mainly there for the crit. And because he's GB2, yeah, more or less meaningless. I mean, the most you'd ever... The only situation I've ever had that is that I'm on 4 cards in hand. I'm not going to Counterblast 2 to draw 1 card. I'd rather go into Takumi Kizuchi, which is from GB201, Jesus Christ. So he's Counterblast 2, flip himself face up if it's GB2. Look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, add 2 to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So yeah, I'd rather Counterblast 2 to draw 2 than Counterblast 2 to draw 1. So he's just there for sort of backup purposes. So usually first drive enabler, main threat, mid-game crit pressure, or like Oracle Saver or Fixer Upper, I guess. And then you've got your G guards. So you got Ichibi Yoshi. So if you have 3 or more cards in hand, once placed on Guardian Circle, get 5k. So 20k G guard. And then you have good old Amaterasu, which is when it's placed on G guard, if you have 4 or more cards in hand, it gets 10k. And when it's placed on G guard, when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, you can soul charge 1, look at the top card of your deck, and put it to the top or bottom. So you can manipulate for triggers and shiz.
So I guess you do that if you haven't got a trigger in hand, basically.
Turn that iPad off.
I'm sorry!
What were you saying?
I assume you go into that then if you haven't got a trigger in hand, it sounds like. Because one's manipulating a card from hand to the top of the deck, that's just seeing if
that's a G guard, dude.
Oh, sorry. A lot of manipulation going on.
Well, I still think Wacky Hero is the best, but I mean, it just seems like a lot of work for a trigger, I suppose.
Well, would you say Angel's healing just as an effect? Or would you rather get 5k and a double drive check on you? Because technically that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
Angels is I heal, but I get double drive. That's
basically
I heal, get something 5k.
Basically, my point is I see more threat from her than I do from that.
All this.
Well, that's no threat. That's just there to fix your hand. 4k is not enough. Maybe it is. I mean, it goes up to 12, goes up to 11. They're 11, so that is actually better in this sort of lineup. You could technically change that, so it's like a 12k swing, and you've got 21 columns every time you stride into that.
If you're struggling for Oracle, you never consider draws.
I did, but then you lose like threat.
Why?
Like the effects themselves are drawing enough.
Okay.
So realistically, you shouldn't. Also, I failed to mention the Susanoo crit can go into souls to fuel for soul and draw you a card to keep your Oracle up. So,
hooray!
Yay, Oracle! That is basically what 3 weeks? I think it's been 2 weeks.
Probably 2.
No, because it's about 3 weeks of playtesting has got me to this. So that's the funny card that people are like, what? Probably. Other than that, I think that's more or less standard. People might run the old Susanoo instead, but I'd rather keep an Oracle Vanguard so that I can get this and the snake off.
So sneaky.
Other than that, I think that's more or less all I can say about the deck. So, and that's all on the screen. Yay! Cool.
Yeah, that's why I moved it up at the start, because you even went down at an angle. It's meant to stay up there.
So yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please feel free to like, comment, complain, and subscribe.
I think we should always do that now.
With deck profiles,
I did it on mine.
With deck profiles, I think we should. Because there's always going to be our random team endgame tech choice that...
Yeah, people are like, oh my god, it's awesome! And then people
I might have to make that. Like, little flashy screen things. And the tech of the deck!
Yeah.
Duh, duh, duh.
And the thing that makes us different. It's like staple, WTF.
But yes, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe, guys, and we'll see you guys later.